Hello, welcome back to my channel. For anyone who's new, my name is Olivia, and today I'm gonna finally be able to film this. My Luna bug was on my lap and prevented me from moving for quite some time, and so I'm finally getting started with this video. Oh my goodness. Now let me say I did this particular wrap style just to have something on my head when I opened up the video, so I wouldn't be sitting here in my undergarments. But there was some interest in how I did this. So really quick, before I get into the main focus of this video, I will show you how I wrapped this style. Now it looks more complicated than it actually is, and it's just a single scarf, and it's done over a volumizer. This one is a Cloud 9. It's partially stuffed just to make it fit my head better. And this scarf here, which is a rich purple original 2-in-1. Now I put this on my head even-ish. I was just kind of slapping it on my head to do something, so to have something on my head. But so I really didn't pay attention to exact when it comes to placement. But I just have this even-ish on my head. Make sure this is the correct way. And then I took these two tails up and over. Now the longer tail I brought in front and crisscross, tie a knot, but I'm only pulling it through. So this is really similar, only backwards to a Marrakesh style. As far as the bow, it's just a nice bow in the front. I spread it out just like so. I'm taking this piece, I'm finding the pocket underneath of the tail where I brought it up and just tucking that one side. And I'm just going to spread this out, make it nice and neat. This piece can be as large or small as you like it, like so. And I'm going to tuck this one end in under here as well. So I have this really beautiful ruffle, or I don't want to call it a floof because it's not, half bow. Now this back tail, I'm being careful not to pull on it. I'm just dropping it down and behind the shorter to give a cascade effect. So it's really super simple. The hardest part is getting this ruffled portion to look the way you like, but that's it. Okay, so getting on with this, the main focus of the video. A while ago, I purchased a piece of fabric, and as you know, if you've been following me on my Facebook, I made a cap and I posted beautiful pictures of it over there. But I think it's important that when I show you this and I put it on my head, that I say I've done my due diligence as far as understanding the fabric and the origins of the fabric. I'm going to be posting in the description box all of the, I say research, but all of the pages I've looked at and some of the TikTokers I follow. They're talking about this fabric. There were quite a few other videos that on the TikTok that I found, and unfortunately they disappeared from TikTok. I don't know what happened, but in my research I was copying down as much as I could to give you an idea of the research and the origins and just everything that goes into this particular fabric. And I do all this because there's a real good chance that a lot of people don't understand the fabrics that they're purchasing. And me being a textile fanatic, it's become sort of like an addiction. I love textiles and I love learning about different textiles and collecting different pieces from all over the world. It's just something that I have become enamored with. So I always say that you can learn a lot about a culture from their textiles. And this particular piece of fabric, I did find more of it recently, and I'm going to do my best. I've listened to a lot of creators and a lot of different people pronounce the name in the original language, but I'm going to do my best to pronounce it appropriately, and I apologize if I do not quite get it right. But this particular pattern is Nsubra. It's N-S-U-B-R-A, which means waterwell. And this is the fabric. This comes in lots and lots of different colors, but for me, this is the color palette that just jumped out at me. Like, this color palette is amazing. And this fabric, as you will see, is printed, made in Ghana, and I will show it to you if I can open it up enough. Right here. I'm going to be, with this large piece, I'm going to be making a high-low overskirt for this dress. And it's not going to be coming all the way to the front, but stopping just short of the front, so it gives it a layered effect for this dress to match this cap. Now, I'm going to also say I'm not selling this. This is not something that I'm going to profit from another culture's fabrics. That's not the way I play. That's not what I do. This is just for me and my appreciation, and I may pass it along to a wonderful rep sister in future, but none of these will make it to my shop because that would be highly inappropriate. In my opinion, it would be wrong for me to make money off of it. There's a big difference between appreciation and appropriation, and I think selling that would be crossing the line. So I am going to show you the cap, because this one I based it off of a snood style cap, and also a cap that I had that's more like just like a slip-on turban style that's in stretchy material, but I don't always like the way the material feels. And I also, when I get them, they're hot and they are small. I have a bigger head and I have a lot of hair, so I can't always fit them on my head, and they sit in the drawer back there and collect dust because it's disappointing. So I took the ideas of the gathering from those kinds of caps and combined that with my snood pattern, and I came up with this particular cap. Now this is a front closing cap because that's another thing I really struggle with sometimes, especially because I don't put my hair up into pins or anything underneath of my caps. I just kind of coil it around and slap a cap on it. Do the same thing with my shapers, because the hairpins and the barrettes and anything else, and I don't even like the hair scrunchies because it concentrates all of the weight in one area, and it's uncomfortable for me, so I don't do that either. So I was having a problem with catching my hair back here in the cap, and if you've done it, you understand how uncomfortable that is. So I wanted to have something with a Velcro in the front that was easy to maneuver. Now, in doing that, I created this cap and it was slightly too big, so I put a piece of elastic in it, which made it easier to accommodate my big head, but it also could accommodate a smaller head. So it gives it a little bit of range of sizing. So I think while this cap style is going to make it into my shop, because I'm going to make some slip-on caps in cotton fabric that are light and airy and happy. I said this one wouldn't make it there, but the style of cap with made from the cotton will make it. So look for those. I have one I've been working on in this particular pattern. This one, it came out a little bit small because I forgot to add the seam allowance in my second version of this. But this is the second, and it's a little smaller. This one I'm definitely gifting to someone who has a smaller head because it's too small for me. But it was good to see the difference. Yeah, I thought you would appreciate this. I'm also going to be creating the accessory for this one, in the patterns that match. Now, I created this beautiful cap. Let me take this off and I'll put it on and show it to you. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you can see I have my Cloud 9 on. I have it on backwards so that the small end is here. That over there. And then it's going to take me a second to get this on. It is a little clingier to my cap here. It wouldn't be as bad on a just plain hair and it with a velvet headband, but the fabric does grab a little bit to the, oh, that wasn't that bad. Hey, okay. All right, so really quick, pulling it and adjusting. I like that the elastic allows me to adjust it back. And then since I pulled this a little too tight, I will adjust really quickly. Now, because I made a special, I'll do a spin around really quick for you. And I can adjust this to be as nice in the front as I'd like it. Turn this way. You can see there's a little gathering right here. Okay, but as you can see, it's got a bit of volume, so it stretches up. So if you have more hair, it'll stretch up and all. But I also can wear it the opposite direction in the fashion that a snood would be worn in. I also think this guy here makes for better fit in the back if you wanted to wear it in that style, because it's not so thick back here. It creates less of a space for I don't know how to explain it. But the snoods are like bulky sometimes back here with that wide band. So, all right. And I can play with this and adjust it and get it to be the exact tension level that I want it. All right. Now I did create a piece for it. The front, it's a fascinator style. It's to match. And this is the front. And the back looks like this. Now, I purposely made it separate because I wanted to be able to wear it just like this or with this and have the option of spinning it around and wearing it with maybe a brooch or a headband. And I also didn't put this on a ribbon or anything because I wanted it to be clean on the sides. I didn't want to have extra things to tie or just detract from the fabric. Okay, so when I place this on my head, this piece here, it's heart-shaped. I'm placing the heart indent at the top. This is the bottom, this is the top. So when I place it on my head, I can place it right in the center. I can place it here or here. But typically for me, I place my decorations on this side. So I'm going to be using straight pins for this, and I have some yellow ones. And I'm just grabbing the back portion, that velvet base that I attached the rose to. And I'll tell you more about the rose when I'm finished pinning, because it was kind of an interesting thing. Because I did a wee bit of upcycling. Okay, there's just two, and it will hold, two will hold it on if you're not doing any kinds of activities, anything strenuous, but I'm sure I'm going to have to chase a cat or two. So I'll put in two more. Okay, so it ends up being two at the top and two at the bottom. Okay, and adjust. Okay, so Fun thing about this black fabric, it has polka dots on it. You can see they're like velvet polka dots on a organza base, and then this thick binding. That was actually a jacket or a cardigan, a long duster style cardigan that I purchased. And I don't understand sometimes when designers are sizing things or designing things. This one, it was a size 3X, and I know that's Chinese sizing because it said it was, but it gave the measurements for it and everything, and it said 3X. I said, great, that's my measurements. That would be perfect. I got it. It was really inexpensive. I should have known better. I bought it on AliExpress. But it was here. And I'm like, that's supposed to be a cardigan? That's not a cardigan. It only did straight down here. And I was really disappointed, so I left it in the closet. It, you know, when you pay like $9 or $10 for something, whatever. But I liked the styling of it. And at that point, it was kind of funny because at that point I had purchased many things from AliExpress and had no problems with it. But this particular piece was very, very disappointing. If I could find pictures of it, because I think I took a picture of it where it's just straight down here with a big, huge belt, and I was wearing a golden, like saffron color blouse. I say blouse. My goodness, it was a shell dress. I still have the shell dress. I love it, but I was wearing that underneath, and it was very, like I said, it was disappointing. So when I started to develop this idea of creating a big, huge rose, I thought it was the perfect opportunity to utilize that piece of fabric, because at this point, it's just a piece of fabric laying in my closet. So I did. I cut it into strips and used all the pieces that were edged in this beautiful black fabric. And this seemed to work really well with the overall look of this fabric. So I have more of it downstairs, and I'm going to be snipping and adding my own trim because I purchased some satin trim to go on the edges of it, and I will be doing that for my. I'm going to make another one of these in my size, but I'm going to make two of these fascinators in this fabric, but I'm also going to be making more of this fabric trimmed in the satin to do the bow flower. I'm getting all tongue-tied, but anywho, this is the wrap hat, pre-tied, slip-on cap style. It's super, super beautiful and amazing, and please do go into reading about this fabric. It's amazing. It's wonderful. The history is interesting, and the origins of this particular style of fabric is really, really interesting and worth the read. I think I have 5 different resources below. So I hope everyone has a wonderful Friday. Shabbat Shalom to those who celebrate, and I will see you again soon.